you called for Cathy Engelbert's resignation from her role as WNBA commissioner.
WNBA finals. And so I'll leave it there. I mean, I'm just obviously disheartened.
You hear Caitlin Clark there. How does that strike you?
I think what people need to understand, we need great leadership in this time across all levels.
I'm a human too. I have a family. I have 2 kids who are devastated by these comments. And so all I'll say is just, it's obvious.
Doesn't strike me at all. Same reaction. Cathy Engelbert should resign as the commissioner of the WNBA.
Christmas morning 2025 was meant to be the rare quiet day when the noise around the WNBA finally paused. For the league's front office, and especially Commissioner Cathy Engelbert, the holiday offered a chance to catch a breath. After a record-breaking season in viewership, but also a year filled with controversies, racial tensions, and locker room conflicts, the leadership desperately needed a moment to reset. The hope was simple: let conversations shift to the NFL, the NBA's Christmas games, or anything other than the league's internal struggles. For a brief period, that plan seemed to succeed. But at precisely 10 a.m. Eastern, just as families were opening presents and much of the sports world was still waking up, a single notification shattered the calm. It wasn't from the league or its official channels. It came from Nike. The post featured a 32-second commercial starring Caitlin Clark that would ultimately undermine the commissioner's authority more than any scandal the league had faced in the last decade. The ad, titled From Anywhere, did more than attract views. It sparked panic behind closed doors. At WNBA headquarters, reactions reportedly escalated quickly from shock to full-blown crisis mode. To understand why a sneaker commercial caused such a stir at the highest levels, you have to look beyond basketball. This was about control, influence, and power, dynamics that have been quietly shifting over the past 2 years. For decades, the WNBA has operated under a strict philosophy. The league comes first, the collective comes before the individual, and no player is bigger than the organization. Commissioner Engelbert has defended this approach as a way to maintain stability and avoid chaos, even as the foundation beneath it has begun to show cracks.
Well, let me clarify first, because it's proxy season, right? No CEO do you just put the base pay in there. You put their bonus, you put their stock options, you put everything. Caitlin has the ability to make up to $500,000 just in WNBA wages this year. So of course they're just looking at a base which is collectively bargained, and actually it's low because she's the #1 pick. She'll make a little more than that, but she also has millions and millions of dollars of endorsements. She's actually, because she declared to become pro, her endorsements are higher in dollar value. She has a global platform now, not just a U.S. platform. So she's going to do just fine, as will the top players in the league, as every league does. But I realize we still have a lot of work to do, and it's all about the ecosystem.
When the commercial dropped on Christmas morning, everything shifted. Its high-budget cinematography, flawless production, and celebrity cameos from Travis Scott and the Kelsey brothers made it feel more like a blockbuster movie trailer than a typical sports ad. Bold, confident, and unapologetic, it struck directly at the league's long-held philosophy. The message was crystal clear. There was no collective. There was no everyone is equal. There was Caitlin Clark and then everyone else. For Commissioner Engelbert, whose reputation was built on carefully managing the league's ecosystem, seeing a single player elevated to near-mythic status without any league oversight was deeply unsettling. It challenged her authority. What truly set off alarms were the ad's details. Phone lines reportedly stayed nonstop between executives throughout the holiday. This wasn't a celebration of the WNBA as a whole, nor a highlight reel of its history or team achievements. In fact, the WNBA logo was barely visible, if it appeared at all.
She was talking about Cathy Engelbert directly. She revealed private conversations, you understand, with quotes from this lady, the commissioner, about what she said that came across as dismissive, as derogatory, and unappreciative of the athletes that represent her league.
The spotlight was entirely on Clark. Every visual emphasized her personal brand: snow falling on a quiet driveway, impossibly long-distance shots, and cultural icons standing nearby like witnesses. The presentation framed her as more than a player, something that transcended the league itself. According to insiders, Commissioner Cathy Engelbert viewed this as a rogue move. Normally, partnerships with brands like Nike are tightly coordinated so the league benefits alongside the athlete. This time, it was different. Nike made it clear they were calling their own shots. The message was unmistakable. They didn't need the league to sell product. They only needed Caitlin Clark. For a commissioner, realizing that your biggest star may have outgrown the system built to contain her is not just unsettling, it's a direct challenge to authority. Clark was operating in a different lane, and corporate sponsors were fully aware of it. What made the situation even more explosive was the timing. The league's front office couldn't ignore the added edge of spite. Just weeks before the Nike commercial aired, the basketball world had been focused on the launch of the new 3-on-3 league, founded by Brianna Stewart and Nafisa Collier.
Hey, Caitlin, how about from here?
Come on, guys.
Yeah, she can't make it. No chance.
Caitlin, from Rito, what? You got it.
I'm not even gonna ask.
Hey, Caitlin from here might be impressive. Am I right?
Whatever, Chad.
So right here.
From there.
From anywhere.
The project was promoted as the WNBA's long-awaited solution to its off-season challenges. It was an equity-driven league, built by players for players, designed to keep top talent in the U.S. while generating new income streams for veterans who had long carried the league. Commissioner Cathy Engelbert publicly supported the initiative, presenting it as a key part of the WNBA's long-term growth strategy. Behind the scenes, however, there was one clear priority: getting Caitlin Clark involved. Every possible effort was made to secure her participation. Reports suggested she was offered over $1 million for a short-term commitment, a figure that dwarfed her WNBA salary and underscored just how much her star power was desired. Clark turned it down. She rejected both the money and the spotlight, opting instead for rest, downtime, and a lower profile, at least publicly. That decision alone had already unsettled parts of the league's establishment. What came next pushed the situation to a breaking point. The From Anywhere commercial dropped on Christmas Day, right as the unrivaled league was trying to build momentum ahead of its January debut. Within league circles, it felt less like a coincidence and more like a deliberate strike. When Clark had declined the unrivaled league offer, some traditionalists argued she was holding the game back. That argument collapsed almost immediately. Within 24 hours, her 32-second Nike ad amassed 6 times more views than the entire unrivaled league roster reveal and launch campaign combined. For the league establishment, it wasn't just a setback. It was a public demonstration of a power shift they couldn't ignore. It proved one thing beyond question: Caitlin Clark didn't need the unrivaled league to stay relevant. The unrivaled league needed her. For Commissioner Cathy Engelbert, seeing her carefully planned off-season strategy eclipsed by a single sneaker commercial was disastrous. It highlighted a truth league leadership had long tried to avoid. Fans aren't necessarily loyal to women's basketball as a concept. They're loyal to its stars. And right now, they were loyal to Caitlin Clark. This shift made Engelbert's job exponentially harder. Running a league is one challenge. Managing a player who commands the attention of the entire audience is an entirely different challenge.
First of all, I have great respect for Fee, and I think she made a lot of very valid points. And, I think what people need to understand, we need great leadership in this time across all levels. This is straight up the most important moment in this league's history. This league's been around for 25 plus years, and this is a moment we have to capitalize on. So that's honestly what I would say. I think there's, Fee said it all with what she said, and I think the points she made were very valid.
Every time Clark's From Anywhere ad airs, it exposes the league's limitations. Fans see the real money and influence lie with the player, not the WNBA. The commercial highlights the gap between Clark's earning power and the league's infrastructure, sparks locker room tension, and raises global expectations the league can't yet meet. For Commissioner Engelbert, it's more than marketing. It's a stress test, revealing who truly holds power. The 2026 season will be about leverage, identity, and influence, not just basketball.